Hello everyone, my name is Chris. 20 useful tips to make your Overwatch 2 experience a little bit better than it is right now. Tip number 1. You will forget about Overwatch 2 in a few years, just like you have forgotten every single previous game that you played. Don't stress out about game too much, it's not worth it in a big picture. Tip number 2. Make sure that your health is your number one priority. Sleep enough hours so you feel rested. Make sure that you fuel your body with proper nutritious foods, and make sure that you have deep emotional connections between you and people that you love in your life. Because if you would open up any top 500 streamer and ask them how many hours they slept, they're gonna tell you 3, 4, 5. What was their diet? Some garbage plus Coca-Cola, and then when was the last time they've been grateful and said, I love you, mom? Never. Don't be that guy. Tip number 3. Only play the game when you have a burning desire to do so. You have been forcing yourself to play the game every single day because somebody told you. When was the last time you really wanted to do so? Exactly, never. Make sure that you play other games, make sure that you have fun in real life, so then you come back to the game and you're like, wow, this is actually amazing. Tip number 4, reject toxic hustle culture mentality. That's very popular on the internet right now. All these fake gurus that are telling you to sleep less, that are telling you to work harder, are very unnatural. They are overworked, they are depressed, they are tired, and look way older than their years on their passport. Make sure that you play the game as much as you want, and then feel free to quit whenever you feel like quitting. Don't force yourself to do the things that you don't like doing. Tip number 5, make sure that your environment is comfortable for you to play. Make sure that you don't have any urgent things to do outside of you spending a few hours on a computer. Make sure that nothing is interrupting your experience. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to talk to anyone. You are just there, locked in, having fun. Tip number 6. Play with friends and have fun, because at the end of the day, games were created for you to communicate with people and have fun, explore new things, and try out interesting ideas. What does it turn out to be? It turned out that you are playing alone, grinding on your own, you have zero fun, you have people that you don't like in your team, and it leads to bad results. Tip number 7, focus on yourself only. Make sure that when you are starting up the game, there is not a single human being that as important as yourself. You don't want to change anyone, you don't want to fix their mistakes. It is only you against your weak self. Other people are only mirrors in which you see your own flaws. Fix them, focus on them, and you will get better. Tip number 8, mute text chat and voice chat. Overwatch is not the game when you can receive any useful information with a text chat or a voice chat. 99.9% of the time that someone spoke or wrote something in the chat, it was to blame other players, to brag about something, or to be annoying, or go for some attention. You don't care about that. You are there to improve and have fun. Tip number 9, there are no losses, only lessons. If you lose the game, don't treat it as like, oh, I'm losing my sense of domination. I would rather lose every single game of my life, but gradually improve as a player, gradually improve as a person that knows how to play a certain character, in comparison with spamming some random brain-dead, meta, overpowered character that does nothing and kills everything at the first sight, just to realize that I am garbage after all this time that I've spent playing. Tip number 10, finish your gaming sessions at your peak. Because what's happening right now is that you are playing, you feel amazing, everything is fun, everything's amazing, and you're like, yeah, let's continue. And you continue, and it becomes worse and worse and worse, to the point where you absolutely freaking hate the game, and then you quit. And your psyche only remembers the last strong emotion you felt of each activity. Make sure that you quit when you feel the best. Tip number 11. Play like you have already lost the game. You have to understand that people never pay attention to you. You are not important because they only look at yourself. And you place yourself in a golden cage where you are like, oh, I don't want to lose the game, so I'm gonna play uninteresting, unbalanced character that I absolutely don't like playing, just to keep my win rate above 50%. Who told you that this is how it's supposed to be? Who told you that this is how you need to play the game? Who told you that you can't lose if you've already lost in your mind before the game? Tip number 12. Keep track of everything that's happening in the game. Make sure that you keep in mind your team cooldowns, enemy team cooldowns, ultimate usage, and their possible positions. Make sure that you pretend that you see enemies through the wall by imagining how you would personally play if you were to be a support on the enemy team, if you were to be a DPS. Tip number 13. Think like a hand, not like a finger. Instead of focusing solely on your performance, make sure that you approach Overwatch or any other team game like a single organism, like a hand that's about to grab something or about to punch someone or about to hold onto something. And in order to do that, you need to see what other fingers are doing to keep up with them, maybe lead them, maybe correct them. Tip number 14. Practice your aim. There are great videos on aim training that you can use in order to improve at this. Because at the end of the day, if you were to hit every single shot that you take, you would be way higher rank than you are right now. Tip number 15. Learn from best players. And the best players are usually the ones that play the game consistently and play it a lot. And they usually stream. And this is how you can actually improve at the game. Make sure that you look for a streamer that you like their personality, you like the playstyle, and you try to copy. You sit at your computer, you write down everything interesting that they are doing on your character that you like, and you copy that. Tip number 16. Watch Spilo. If you are really interested in getting better at Overwatch, there is not a single YouTube channel better than Spilo. If you are not familiar, this guy is a professional coach and his videos are amazing. They are touching on wide variety of topics, from self-improvement to some micro things on each and every single character. Highly advise watching him. Tip number 17. You are not alone when it comes to your improvement. You can always ask your friend for advice who is a few ranks higher than you. You can always ask for the free coaching session on a Discord server, and I'm sure that if you are below platinum, even masters players will be able to give you detrimental advice that can drastically change the way you approach the game. Tip number 18. Learn how to play against your counters. You take Monkey, they take Reaper, and everything tells you to swap. Your team tells you to swap, your instincts tell you to swap. What if I tell you that you can still play around it and you can win games against Reaper, and it's not the end of the day if you are playing Winston into Reaper? The same goes from Diva into Zarya, the same goes from Reinhardt into Orisa. You just need to find a way to play around that. Find it. Tip number 19. Learn the best hero for every map on every role. You're playing a sniper map, pick up Widowmaker. If you are playing on a support, make sure that you go for a poke support, such as Illari or Zenyatta, or maybe go for the main healer, such as Baptiste. If you are playing on maps with verticality, perhaps you would want to try Echo, or maybe you wanna play Tracer and while 4 of your teammates are fighting, you are pushing the cart below, forcing opponents to drop from high ground, and they will never be able to go back. Tip number 20, let your teammates make mistakes and let yourself make mistakes. You have to understand that every single human being on Earth is trying their absolute hardest, but they are very limited by their biochemistry, they are limited by their stressful and toxic environment that we all live in nowadays, and this will drastically decrease the results in your life. Make sure that you are the most forgiving person on your team. It's okay to fail, it's okay to lose. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one. Take care.